Imprisoned with dozens of others in a 4-metre cell, beaten, blindfolded and threatened with torture. These are the hellish conditions Australian Robert Pether has endured for 2 long years.
I'm absolutely convinced that Robert Pether has done nothing wrong.
In April 2021, the engineer and a colleague were wrapping up a project for the Iraqi central bank when, under the pretense of a meeting with local officials, they were arrested and thrown in jail.
This was a state-sponsored kidnapping in order to gain leverage in some other dispute.
The Iraqi government claims the company Robert worked for defrauded it out of millions of dollars by charging it for a subcontractor it was no longer in business with. Today, newly discovered emails show that's just not true, and that the two companies were in business for months after it was claimed the contract ended.
In Iraq, we know that the judicial system is highly corrupt. We know that this case is being used as a way of extracting concessions from the Australian government or Robert's business or through some other process that we're really not aware of.
In new claims, Robert also alleges the so-called confession that saw him locked up was mistranslated by a disgruntled central bank employee. Meanwhile, Robert's health is deteriorating. He's lost 40 kilograms, and as a former skin cancer sufferer, his family is worried he's missing out on life-saving healthcare.
He was delirious, he was blacking out, he was severely dehydrated.
Psychologically, it can be very, very hard indeed. It's hard to keep your head together when your body's falling apart. And so Robert is going to have to work incredibly hard to keep his sanity intact.
One small kernel of hope, Iraqi authorities last week indicated Robert may be granted a retrial. His family desperate for the years-long nightmare to finally be over.
Well, Robert's wife, Desiree Pether, joins us now. Desiree, can you describe for us what it's like for you as a family going through all of this?
It's an absolute horrendous nightmare. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I will make it my life's mission to stop it from happening to any other family. I never, ever want anyone to go through what I've experienced with having to look at my children and look in their eyes and tell them what's happening to their beloved dad, and just watching their faces and looking at their eyes now and seeing, you know, that haunted expression in their eyes compared to 2 years ago. It's, you know, my older boys have had to grow up so fast and all of them have missed so much with their dad. And, you know, it's becoming a bit of a pattern, and it needs to be addressed and stopped.
The news of a possible retrial, I know you're still waiting for formal confirmation, but that must be welcome news for you and the family.
It's absolutely welcome. It's been welcome for the last 2 years. This is their 4th attempt, and we found out on Monday the 17th that it had been approved. But then, of course, there was Eid and now it's the weekend. So we're still waiting for something formal in writing that it's actually going to happen. But it's definitely a step in the right direction finally.
These emails that we've learnt about today, how significant are they for you, for the family?
Hugely significant. They were given access to their laptops a while back, and thankfully between that and digging through our old laptop here and everything, we've managed to get 52 emails, which completely negate what's been said and what he's been accused of. And it's evidence that we've been trying to show for the last 2 years. So it's absolutely amazing if we can finally have that opportunity to present that.
Tell me about Robert's health. How is he doing?
He's constantly sick, constantly having antibiotics. He's on antibiotics at the moment. He's not well. And these are issues that have dogged him right from the start when he was in the first facility and he had a raging kidney and bladder infection and was delirious and blacking out. So the blacking out continues. And, of course, there's the possible melanoma. So there's that.
The Australian Department of Foreign Affairs says that there's been something like 147 representations or petitions made on his behalf to the Iraqi authorities. Are you satisfied that the Australian government has done everything that it could have done to secure his freedom?
No, definitely there's been a marked improvement, and Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong have definitely stepped up In the beginning, in the first 5.5 months when there was no charges and no financial penalty against him, Maurice Payne and Scott Morrison, their level of apathy was astonishing, and so much more should have been done at that stage. So many opportunities were missed, and they are kind of partially responsible for where he is now. So quantity doesn't necessarily equal quality, but definitely I'm assured that he's a top priority at the moment.
Desiree, thanks for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.